Welcome, guys, to a late night EBN stream with Mexican Ironman here in the house. We just got back from seeing Captain America Brave New World. I don't know what Brave New World they're talking about in that movie. I still haven't figured that out, but that was a movie, I guess. Mike, how you doing, buddy? Up, you're muted.
Hold on. How's that? Good?
There you go. Yep.
All right. So, nothing more interesting than Valentine's Day with Nick from Echo Base Network going to the movies.
Yeah. Date night with Mexican Ironman.
Yeah.
Date night with South Carolina.
Right. Date night in South Carolina with Mexican Ironman for the we were going to see it yesterday, but scheduling did not permit. Also, frankly, I've been pretty sick all week and not feeling well, so this is probably the first time I felt well enough to get out of the house. There's some funny comments coming out. I'll date him; he'll get me some clout. So me and Nick decided to. I still got a cough, you can tell. So I'm not 100%, but we ventured out into the great outdoors, went to the local theater, barely got there on time, literally barely made it on time. Nick, actually, here's the backstory. So I made dinner tonight at the house, made
chicken, steak, corn, black beans. It was awesome.
Yep.
And I made Mike nachos, a Mexican meal, the other night that were the bomb diggity, were they not?
Total bomb diggity. Yeah, total. We're like having a cooking shootout here in my kitchen.
Yeah.
So far, Nick has proven that he makes better Mexican food than me by a landslide.
Yeah, I'd put my nachos up against anybody in the entire world.
Yep.
And I told Mike that before I made them, and now you see why, right?
Hold on, Chopper's got a funny comment. Romantic Valentine's dinner. Sodak also says that I gave you mono.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we finished dinner. Nick took a nap. I think he was concerned that he didn't want to fall asleep in the movie.
I took two naps today. One before dinner, one after dinner, because I was like, I'm going to fall asleep in this movie because I already know it's going to be boring. I'm going to be very uninterested. So I was actually able to stay awake through the whole thing.
Right. So let's go over the statistics. So we went to the 9:20 show. Now, when we looked up the earlier show, there were no tickets sold for that. In our seating, there were 4 people in front of us. There were 2 people behind us.
Yeah.
And there were 2 people in the back row.
Yep.
How many is that? 4, 8, 10, including us.
Yeah, 10 on a Friday night. 10 people in the theater.
Yeah, and that was the 9:20 showing.
Yeah.
Kind of concerning, I think. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. But you even pulled up earlier shows, and the theater was empty for those as well.
Yep, totally empty.
So
anyways, we got our popcorn. We went in, grabbed our seats, and proceeded to go through the movie. So this is the first weekend that so Captain America, Brave New World, started playing in LA and select cities on Tuesday and Wednesday. They had special premieres, but officially nationwide it opened up yesterday. So this is the first weekend. So I'll go first. So I'll go first with the highlights.
All right.
So the one thing, my major positive takeaway from this movie by far, and it may be my only takeaway, is that all of the actors showed up and really did a good job.
Yeah, I thought the performances were fine.
Like, I think actually Harrison Ford was better in this role in this movie than he was in Dial of Destiny.
I still haven't seen that movie, so I wouldn't know.
Oh my God.
I refuse to watch it. I still, to this day, have not ever seen it.
Yeah. So that is my. So basically, what I'm trying to say there is that every actor in every part they played, whether it was a lead role or supporting role, even some of the secondary supporting cast members, all of them, everybody did a great job as that actors. In fact, I'm going to tell you that that for everything that I'm about to say about this movie, I don't believe any of it had to do with the actors. Everybody tried their best. Now, did they have the best casting? Well, we're going to get into that
Yeah.
on some of the things, but overall, all of the actors did a really good job. It's their job to do a good job.
Yeah.
So, Nick, I'll let you go first. What's your number one complaint or concern or review item?
Number one complaint is the movie was all over the place. It felt like somebody went to a junkyard and got a bunch of different car parts for all different makes and models of car and basically slapped it together and threw some duct tape on it and was like, here's a car. That's what it felt like. And the thing is, like, if you didn't watch Falcon and Winter Soldier or the 2008 Hulk movie, like, you'll be lost. There was several characters and stuff and things that happened in this. I didn't know who these people were. Like, I had to look it up on my phone, and
Yeah,
the
Nick
main villain, uh,
as the movie was going along, Nick was actually Googling who different characters were that were in and out of this thing.
yeah, because I was like, who's this guy? Like, what's his comic book? So the main bad guy is the leader, who's a Hulk,
The buyer.
yeah, the arch nemesis of the Hulk in the comics, who the character from the comics in the image I saw looked nothing like the character in the movie. But this guy was also in the 2008 Hulk movie uh, with Liv Tyler, which she shows back up. Oh, spoilers, by the way, guys. We're
By
spoiling.
the way, this is 100% spoiler review.
Yeah, we're spoiling the shit out of this
You
thing.
know what? I better put that in the banner. Let me make a quick banner.
Yeah,
Hold on.
yeah, because and honestly, there's not really anything to spoil here. But we are going full steam ahead with spoilers.
Yeah. So let me let me throw a warning tag up. Wait, how do I do that? See, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know how to do these things.
Banners,
Warning.
and then go to EB.
Oh,
You can
got
go
it.
to
Got it. Here we go. See, because I'm not a YouTuber, I don't know how all this works.
yeah. I haven't done a banner in a minute, but as Mike's getting that on there, just so everybody that's coming in knows that we are hitting spoilers. Yeah, I literally had to Google some of the people in this movie because I was like, who is this person? Uh, what's their relation to the other characters, and what were they, and who were they in the comics? Like I had no idea. They never called him the leader. That they just said his actual name, and I don't even remember his actual name. So much of this movie was forgettable. I was when we were driving back, I was like, I'm trying to remember the movie from start to finish.
Yep. Well, let's go over the plot. So you're
Yeah,
talking about the plot. So the plot, I found it to be all over the place. It was meandering. Now, there's enough exposition in this movie that you might want to say that there's like, it's not Brave New World, it's Brave New Exposition. There's enough
yeah,
people sitting in hallways, people taking timeouts to explain what's going on. And it really, look, you don't need to watch all these other movies to figure out what's going on, but you got to listen real carefully to what everybody's saying if
yeah.
you want to keep up. I was listening real carefully, but I've also seen all the other crap as well. But I think the plot line was lame and dumb. There's too many backstories. Like you've got
Oh
the story
yeah,
of
all
Harrison,
over.
you've got the story of Red Hulk, the president's story. You've got the backstory of like this black guy who's like a super soldier and his redemption arc. and how he's involved. Then you've
Yeah,
got the
he was in Falcon and Winter Soldier, the
you've
guy
got
that
this
he
minor arc of this security Secret Service agent girl that's 4 foot tall and is supposedly a Black Widow badass. We'll talk about her in a minute.
Yeah.
You've got, of course, the story of Brown Tortilla. I'm sorry, Brown Falcon. I mean, I'm sorry, the new Falcon. That was racial that I just saw that. No, I mean, so there's the new Falcon who is Mexican, or no, he's from Miami. So he looks Mexican, but I think they say he's from Miami, so I guess he's supposed to be like Cuban, I guess, or Puerto Rican. I
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah,
but he looks Mexican, typical Mexican, but and I'm Mexican, so I can say that. And then it's very so there's that. He's got a backstory. The villain's got a backstory. There's just so many there's 6, 7 stories going on at the same time,
yeah,
and there's nothing that bonds you. So it's really weird. And then there's the backstory of Liv Tyler, the president, and the daughter. So there's his story as the Hulk, but then there's another backstory about him with Liv Tyler and the daughter, and will they
yeah.
redeem their relationship? Will they not? Bro, literally, like there's 6 to 8 different stories going on in the same 1 hour and 54 minutes. You can have
Plus,
a main story and a backstory, but you can't have fucking 6, 7 stories going on at the same time.
yeah, plus the Celestial Island thing from the Eternals, which I thought that was a giant monster coming out. It was like moving and stuff, and then I don't remember the Eternals. Did they like turn that thing to
Well, at
stone
the
or
end of the
something?
Eternals, one of them is okay. Okay. I'm gonna have. Did you finish? Did you not see the Eternals?
I fell asleep. I never
Okay, so you
saw
didn't
the
even
end.
see. Okay, well you'll know how it ended then. So
No.
you fell. Okay, well that's why you don't know why there's a hand coming. All right, so the
Yeah.
way the movie ends, there's an Eternal gets lodged in planet Earth, and then that's where. And then in this movie, they explain that's where they find the adamantium. Anyway, we're getting distracted. Bottom line is, there's too many stories going on, and the story. Let me ask you this question, Nick. Did you ever feel emotionally engaged at all in the story? And I mean any kind of emotion, heartfelt, action. No.
Zero. Zero. None. I didn't care about any of the stories in this. And I was telling Mike this before I went live. When I remember coming out of the theater with on Winter Soldier, and I was just like, "God, that movie was badass. Like I loved it. Like I came out of this like boring. Like I didn't care about anything that was going on. It, and on top of that, it probably didn't help that Sam Wilson is now Captain America because Steve Rogers is Captain America. It's like going to a Spider-Man movie and seeing Miles Morales on screen. You know, it's just I was already checked out before the movie even started,
Well, I
just
think
because of that.
I think the problem is that if you've seen all of the other Marvel stuff, you're just supposed to accept that that he's showing up as Captain America. But I think
Yeah,
if for people that have just watched the movies and haven't watched the Marvel shows, and look, if you saw, you could argue that, hey, I saw Endgame and Cap hands the shield over, and then, but the thing is like it's too abrupt. It's like it's almost like it's like watching a Batman movie with a totally different Batman, and you're just supposed to accept that this other guy's Batman or something like that. It's weird. It's
yeah.
weird. It's very abrupt. It doesn't make. It's like you're just thrown into it. So anyway, so we've talked about the actors. We've talked about the plots. There's too many of them. We've talked about there's no emotional stakes. Let's talk about the action. What do you think about all the action scenes?
Some of the action scenes weren't that bad, but overall, it wasn't. None of it was really believable to me, and it almost felt like a fan film. Like not like a huge Hollywood studio was putting this thing together. A lot of it felt cheap. Uh, and Sam Wilson, I'm sorry, he is not a super soldier, and they make that very clear in the movie. And he survives everything that he's involved in, getting stabbed, getting gutted with an axe. Like nothing phases him. He's like a superhero. Uh, Getting hit, pounded on, uh, thrown, shot at, by F-18 fighter jets. The I don't know if you guys have seen the bullets on that, but they're literally like this big, like bigger, like two Coke cans put together.
Yeah.
But I guess the vibranium and in the Wakandan suit that he has is just indestructible and nothing can penetrate it. But yeah, it is just is very very unbelievable. At least with the uh,
See, I can believe Iron Man getting hit hard because he's got that Iron Man suit
yeah,
on,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
But he, you know, this version of Captain America, he's like in a skin suit and he just happens to have these wings and a shield. I'm like, dude, if anyone hits you like a Red Hulk's gonna hit you, you're gonna crumble, bones are gonna break, blood is gonna gush out, and you're gonna get
yeah.
crushed.
Yeah, and their explanation for it is it's a special Wakandan suit that basically has the same technology that um what was it? Chadwick Boseman's character.
Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther. It's basically the same technology where, he basically takes a bunch of hits and then it basically stores the energy and then he can, deflect it or use it or whatever.
So I found most of the action scenes pretty like I've seen them all before. You know what I mean? Like there was
Yeah.
nothing different, nothing cool. The one action scene that pissed me off is when they've got this one character. Let's talk about Secret Agent Girl. I can't even remember her name.
Oh,
Secret
Black
Agent
Widow
Girl.
Light, Dollar
Yeah,
Store General Black Widow,
right. She's
who's
supposed to be.
uglier and shorter.
Can we just say call her Dylan McVaney, Black Widow? Anyway, she's like 4
Yeah,
feet tall. Now, here the actress actually brought in her A game to try to act through the role.
yeah,
But
on her
I think she was
performance.
given crappy lines and worse is there's this one hallway scene where she literally takes on 8 dudes that are at least 200 pounds, 6'3", 200 to 220, 230. Each guy's like 6 feet tall. And she just lovely. Hey, lovely Sherry. And she just, yeah, it would have been believable if Bucky was Captain
Yeah,
America, who, by the
yeah.
way, he does show up in the.
For a brief second, and he's soon to be Congressman, Winter Soldier
Yeah,
slash
he shows
Bucky
up
now.
in the dialogue between him and Captain DEI. It's so lame. Me and Nick were looking at each other and we are going like, in the
Yeah.
theater. We're like,
Right after it, I was sitting there and I'm like, gay.
but there's this one hallway scene where she takes on 6. And look, I'm sorry. There's no 4'5" chick or 5 foot tall chick that's gonna take out 8 guys. And there's some of the things were
No.
just stupid. Like some of the fights, it was too convenient. Like they had like cattle prods. I'm like, give me a fucking break. If it's a military facility, somebody's got guns and somebody's gonna shoot somebody and somebody's gonna die. But no, they just happen to show up for the battle with cattle prods.
Yeah. Let's
You went shit
electrocute
out.
him. Oh god, it was so dumb. And
So the whole scene with her in the hallway, like when that happened, it just completely took me the fuck out.
oh yeah.
In the plot device was that she's fighting the military guys to be on the same side as Cap and what's his face, the
The new
diversity.
Falcon.
Yeah,
Falcon
diversity.
2.0.
Yeah, Latinx Falcon.
Yeah, Joaquin.
Joaquin.
Yeah. The new Falcon.
Yeah.
Who's also another DEI. The only 2 white guys in this were the villains. That was it.
Okay, so if you're a white guy in this thing, you're either a villain or you died.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we don't need none of your white people being heroes or you were in and out. Like Bucky was in, gave some stupid lines, and he was back out.
Yeah. This was not
Rick, we don't need any of you racist bigots in this movie.
Yeah. I felt underrepresented in this movie, Mike.
Even the lead Secret Service agent that's protecting the president, she was a black chick.
Yeah.
The head of the all Secret Service was a black chick. Anyway, look, I don't want to make this racial, but the point of the matter is I think the storyline choices, the choices they made were really stupid. Look, Marvel has lost it. What? Here's the way I'll compare it. And I've seen everything because I have to for one show or another. Was it as boring as Eternals? No, because I like Nick fell asleep during the Eternals, but I woke up before the ending.
Doctor Strange 2 also I fell asleep in 3 times.
Okay, Doctor Strange 2 was kind of ridiculous, but it was a better movie than this, in my opinion.
I wouldn't
because
know. I haven't seen it from start to finish.
okay, all right. Well, all right, now Shang-Chi, I walked out of that movie because it was just fucking stupid and lame, and I couldn't even sit through it. So it's not as stupid as Shang-Chi. It's not as boring as the Eternals. I'm gonna say it's probably the same experience I had as watching shit, let me think. The
Yeah,
Marvels?
I've not seen the Marvels. Surely this has got to be better than the Marvels.
Mm, kind of like that.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
I've not seen the Marvels.
And then
Thi-
we were talking afterwards. I mean, look, the Eternals was way worse for sure, and Shang-Chi was just freaking stupid. I know a lot of people like Shang-Chi. Here's the thing with Shang-Chi. The reason that I thought it was stupid is I couldn't buy into any of the plot line premises. Like I couldn't buy into two valets buying first class tickets to go to fucking China at the last minute in first class. What at the I mean that's like fucking 8,000. Those tickets I know for a fact are $8,000 to $12,000 per seat. How the fuck are two valets who barely have any money gonna afford that shit? And there's
yeah.
other things that were just fucking pretty stupid. But is it the worst Marvel movie out there? No. But what it does tell me is that Marvel as a studio is completely and totally lost at sea.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would definitely agree with that.
If I didn't go watch, the main reason I went, the main reason we went wasn't because of shocker. The main reason me and Nick went wasn't because we had dinner Valentine's night date.
Yeah.
Okay. So shocking. The reason we win is because we're on YouTube shows and we want to be able to talk about movies that we actually saw.
Yeah.
But I am going to tell you, I know it's going to cost Marvel a couple bucks, but there is zero, zero, zero reason I would ever advise anybody to pay money to see this in the theater. The CGI is not
Agreed.
that great.
No.
There's nothing amazing about the audio. I know it was specially filmed for IMAX, but I just don't see how that would matter.
Red
I mean,
Hulk's literally in it for 5 minutes at the very end.
what?
Uh, Red Hulk. He's literally in the movie for 5 minutes at the very end.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like 5 minutes max. I don't even know
Yeah.
if it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes max. Now he looked good. The special effects of the Red Hulk look pretty good. I think.
Yeah. They weren't bad. I didn't have any complaints with the CG of Red Hulk at
Yeah.
all. And speaking of the end of the movie and walkouts, the four people in front of us who were probably, I don't know, what would you say, late teens, early 20s, Mike?
Yeah, I'm gonna say they were probably 20 to 25, 28.
Yeah. They walked out before the movie was even over. All
Yeah,
four of them.
yeah, the four of them. Which I would think that this is Marvel's target audience.
Yeah.
And they literally, as soon as because you can always tell when a movie's winding up. That's the other thing that sucks. The last 15 minutes of this movie is the movie winding up.
Yeah, it
Like
drags on at the
it just
very
the
end.
last 10, 15 minutes just fucking drags. There's this long hospital scene. It's
Yeah.
basically they basically have three endings duct taped together in a row.
Yeah. And then the after credit scene is at the very end of the
Oh
credits.
my
Not
god. So yeah, the after credit scene, everybody, if you want to stick around for it,
it's not
which
even worth sticking around
it's
for.
not worth sticking around for. It's so fucking stupid and lame. And it's with characters that are already there. You learn nothing new. There's no cool ooh moment. Like remember when we saw the cool moment when Ross at the shows Tony Stark forming the Avengers. There was nothing. It was
Yeah.
nothing cool like that.
Yeah. And then we got at the end of
And
one
it
of
was
them,
it wasn't
Thanos
just
was at the
after the
end.
initial credits. It was after the credits, the secondary credits, the filming
Yeah.
credits, the
Yeah.
location credit. Me and Nick are sitting there like,
Yeah. Hurry up.
oh,
Yeah. I was literally just
Nick, I
playing
was
on my
making this
phone.
noise. It wouldn't fucking end. I was falling asleep.
Uh-uh.
I was like snoring. I was like, ah, ah.
Yeah, it just we literally had to wait till the very, very end, which sucked, because I'm sure we probably just could have left and just pulled it up on YouTube or something.
Right. So for those asking, since this is a spoiler review, I'll tell you what the last scene is. The last scene is Captain DEI goes back to the main villain, Doctor
I don't even remember.
Skaggs, whatever the frack his name is. Can't remember.
Yeah.
Goes back,
Um,
and the doctor says the statistical probability, something like this.
Samuel Stearns.
Stearns, that's right.
Yeah.
There's a statistical probability that this next group of Avengers will encounter people from other worlds and
Yeah.
universes.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
like,
like,
Nick, what was your reaction to that?
oh, and then he says, "You think you're the only world and the only people out there? No, you dumbass. They already encountered freaking Guardians of the Galaxy, Groot, Thanos, Thor. Of course they don't think that they're the only ones. What are you talking about? Where have you been the whole entire first couple phases of the Marvel cinematic universe? Like, what are you talking about? It was so dumb. It was almost sort of like everything that happened before didn't really happen.
Right. Sodak's on point. Hold on. Let me grab Sodak's comment. Like the Avengers didn't do that in the first Avengers movie. Bingo.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they stopped 2 alien invasions.
Yeah, they
It's
did.
just,
And I'm
and
like, so you know what the conclusion I drew is that I think all of the people that made Marvel great no longer must work at Marvel. I think they must have this
yeah,
new batch of characters, new batch of writers. I don't know this is the case. I'm just guessing that except for Kevin Feige, they must have a whole new crop of people that don't exactly remember fucking everything, let alone comic book accuracy shit.
yeah, yeah. Literally, Endgame was the end of the MCU.
Yeah,
With the exception of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is really just a fan service to the 20th Century Fox Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Spider-Man, No Way Home, which was a Sony movie.
yeah.
Other than those two that really aren't really 100% MCU, the Endgame was it. That was it. They have not put other than those two, they have not put out a good project yet. Not one.
Right. So for those that just joined the chat in the last 10, 15 minutes, just to review, we think the plot went was meandering. It
Yeah.
had four to no, 1, 2, 3, 4. It had at least 6 different backstories that were confusing and unnecessary. They should have
Yep.
just had one major story and maybe a B story. Um, Too many characters. The acting performances were fantastic. Like
Yeah,
everybody
they were
showed up
fine.
and gave their A game. But
Yeah.
the plot sucked, the movie sucked, the direction sucked, some of the CGI sucked. None of the action scenes were particularly amazing.
Very
Um,
skippable movie. Like this is a oh, I'm sitting at home and it's raining one weekend and this happens to come on TBS.
Bro, I will never rewatch this movie again.
No, no. But for somebody that's not ever seen it, like that's literally what you know that would maybe be a good time to check it out if it's raining outside and you're sick in the house and it happens to come on television.
I don't know, dude. I found it to be, yeah. I mean, look, Anthony Mackie, he did his best as an actor in this thing. He really
He's
tried.
not a lead though. Did you feel him as like a lead,
No, I just felt like he
Like
was
a
trying.
RDJ or
No,
Chris
I just felt like he was
Evans?
trying too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he was trying too hard.
And
But
then at the end, he's like, "I should have taken the serum." Like Captain America stopped 2 alien invasions. Like he's just like being all down on
he's like
himself.
all
Like,
emotionally needy. Gets a little,
yeah,
yeah. There is a scene where he gets a little beta ass biatch. A
yeah.
little, you know.
I'm like, man up, dude. You've been telling all these other people throughout all these movies you've been in on, building them up and all this sort of stuff. And here you are being a little crybaby bitch at the end. Uh, how you should have taken the serum and all this other. Like, shut up, man. Just go back to being Falcon and be like, look, Steve Rogers is Captain America. I'm not. I'm Falcon, and this is my wingman, Falcon 2, with
Yeah.
Joaquin.
Yeah.
You know,
Anyway, well, all right. So that's it. Let's see if the chat has any questions here. Let's turn to the chat because we're
yep,
gonna end this pretty soon. Let's see. All right, people, you can either super chat questions or you can just ask questions. We'll pick them up. We really don't
yep,
care about super chats. Just if you got a
yeah,
question, we'll answer it.
yeah. And I'm curious. While people are chiming in, if they're wanting to know anything, I'm actually going to start a poll. I'm just curious how many people in
Yeah, we
chat,
got about 80 to 100 people here right now.
yeah, have seen or are going to see this movie. Let me put that poll up, and I'm going to have you guys vote in it. Okay, here we go.
We have an offensive comment. Mark 47. Only a true YouTuber would suffer for his art like this. Yes, Nick is a true YouTuber. Nick is a true YouTuber, and that's why he suffered. Thank you.
Yeah, hell, Mark, good to see you, buddy. All right, so let's see. Question: Are you or have you seen Captain America: Brave New World? All right, polls up. Well, we hit the chat, guys, and then we're going to be closing this out. Just want to get just a quick rundown of everybody here on if you guys have seen it or are you planning on seeing it while it is in theaters.
All right, now's your chance to ask people that have seen the movie a question. You don't have to super chat; just put the question in the chat.
No. So that hell no. Yeah. All right. So this is a good question right here. I'll be surprised if the movie makes over 300 million. Where do you see this thing domestically getting to?
Bro, I don't
Opening
think that
weekend and
I'll
then
be
overall.
opening weekend.
Yeah, this weekend.
Well, it did 12 on Thursday. I'd be in shock if it cracks 50 million.
Wow, that low.
All right,
Okay.
maybe that's a little low. Maybe I should go 80, right? 80 or 90.
Well, so originally that's where I was at, was 80 or 90. But after his comments and then after I saw the pre-sale ticket numbers, I was like, man, I'll be surprised if this thing gets over 60.
All right, I'll be with you. I'll take your 60.
Yeah.
I'll take 60 as a threshold. I don't think it's going to crack 300. I agree with Andrew B. There's no way. I don't see that this thing's cracking 300
No.
billion. There's no way this thing's cracking 300 billion domestically or 300 million domestically.
No, no way. Worldwide, maybe 350, 400 worldwide.
Worldwide, I think it'll do 400 to 500. But what do I know? Who knows?
Yeah. They're losing money on it for sure. And then they got which we saw the poster of while we were at the theater was Snow White. But Mike actually thinks that actually might hit like 500. What do you think it was going to do? Like 550?
Yeah, I think that'll do well.
Yeah, because Little Mermaid live action, which was also crap. I think that's where worldwide. I think it hit right around. It
Wow.
was in between 550.
We got a fan. GVET just saw it again a second time.
All right, GFAT. So you just saw it for the second time. Did you enjoy it more the second time or hate it more the second time? So real quick, my score on this movie was a 5 out of 10. Where were you at on it, Mike? Well,
I'm at
no, mine was a 4. Mine's a 4.
no, I'm a 4. I'm a 4 out of 10 on this.
Yeah, yeah, 4 out of 10. I was thinking of Angry Joe's review because I watched it last night. He gave it a 5 out of 10. I give it a 4 out of 10. Uh, okay, so GFAT Jake, he gave it a 6 out of 10. Okay.
I
Yeah,
probably would be a little bit more lenient on it if theater, my home theater surround sound. There's just something about when you go to a movies, you want something to be really exceptional, and I didn't feel that this was an exceptional movie going experience.
yeah. Uh, I thought the sound was decent, especially in the theater we were at.
Oh
And
yeah,
the seats were very comfortable. If I
yeah.
hadn't taken those naps today, I definitely would have fell asleep in those seats. uh, GFET
No, it's
day.
not trash. It's definitely not trash. I agree with
Yeah,
G.
I've
That's
seen
why I
way
said
worse.
like to me, the Eternals was trash. It was boring trash. It was
Yeah,
lame.
I've seen way worse Marvel movies than this.
Yep.
I thought John Campea actually gave a fairly honest take on it, where when he said, and I would agree with this. It's not a bad movie, but it's not a good movie either. You
Mm.
know, it's just very mid, very very mid. Uh,
I think they should have just focused on instead of having all these meandering storylines with all these other characters going through this film, they should have just focused on Red Hulk and like made that the climax. And there should have been like one, two, like a 1, 2, 3 battles of Red Hulk. Like he appears, and then here's what I would have done with it. What I would have done is Red Hulk kind of appears, but no one knows who he is. But we know
yeah,
the audience because we know that he's the president.
yeah,
Then maybe a second time he appears and then there's a fight in the battle, but they're getting closer to figuring out who he is. And then they know who he is. And then it's the final showdown. And then there's that redemption arc. And then what we do is we start with Cap. What I would have done is start with DEI Cap, kind of unsure of himself, kind
yeah.
of like not starting off with he's like the bestest ever. So opening fight scene like he
Being
got like
vulnerable
that.
though, a
Yeah,
little
he's like
bit.
vulnerable. He's
Yeah,
like vulnerable. He's like not sure if he's gonna, and then he rises up, and then at the end, through those interactions and battles with, maybe he loses the first round, they're dead even the second round, and that final round, he ends up victorious, and he assumes the mantle properly, and he earns the shield, if you will, type of thing. So that's what I would have done with this movie. And as a side, I would have dumped the Brown Falcon completely out of the
oh
storyline.
yeah,
I would have
yeah,
I would have dumped all the side stories about whether Ross gets back with his daughter or not. That's just cheap plot stuff. And I would have
yeah.
just done that, and I would have
Unimportant. Who
and I
cares?
would have let the ascension of because that's what they're under scrutiny. They're under scrutiny by like, hey, it's they're making um the Falcon Captain America, and we're all looking at this through the DEI lens. So what I would have done is I would have treated the character of Captain America like Sam has to ascend into it and then rightfully be able to earn that shield, and then the whole world sees him earn that shield, and the whole world's
Yeah.
behind him. And then Red Hulk should have been in this movie. I would have done this, shaved this movie down to an hour and a half to hour 40, and I would have had at least 3 sons with Red Hulk.
Yeah, because if you watch the first Captain America movie, like he Steve Rogers goes through some shit. He earns that spot to be Captain America and have that shield. He sacrifices himself, basically to save the world. You know, it, s- uh Falcon, Sam Wilson's character, just it doesn't feel like he's earned this. It was just handed to him. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you meet the DEI check boxes for our time frame that we're living in right now. So here, you get the shield. It would have made, and I said this in Endgame, it would have made way more sense for Bucky, the Winter Soldier, to get the shield and take up the role as Captain America. Uh, you
But as
know,
this movie teaches us, Bucky has congressional bills and fundraising events to tend to.
yeah,
Bucky cannot be bothered with saving the planet or America. Bucky's got legislative initiatives that he has to take up the mantle in Congress,
yeah,
and
he's
he
now
has
a
to meet with
congressman.
according to the movie, he has to meet with a speechwriter before his next fundraiser.
And I wonder how that's going to play out in Thunderbolts, because he's part of Thunderbolts. And so if he's in Congress, how is he out running around with the Avengers light? AK MCU Suicide Squad.
I don't know. Anyway, well, we've gone long enough. Our basic Nick and I both give this. We both agreed. We looked at each other
4.
outside the theater, and we both say it's a 4 out of 10. We
Yeah.
definitely can understand how people want to give it a 5, maybe even a 6 out of 10. But it's definitely is not. Marvel is not back. Marvel is not saved, and
No.
I don't know where they go from here. I think that they missed a great opportunity here, and certainly they spent a ton of money, and I don't know if they're going to make it back. Oh, we got a $5 super chat before we sign off from
Hey, what's up, Matt Tween?
Saw It Tonight. Most of the dialogue sounded like it was written by an 8-year-old using AI. 6 out of 10.
Well, you gave it 2 more points than we did. We're at a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, a lot of the dialogue did sound awful.
Yeah, it was not good. Not good at all.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. There's been 100 of you with us tonight. Thanks so much for being on Echo Base Network with our after movie review. Nick, you want to take us out?
Yeah, yep. We will be back next Thursday night for our weekly live stream, and then of course EBN Cast, which you guys check out today's episode in our live stream section on our YouTube channel. With that said, as we always say here, we are you are Echo Base Network. Until the next one, guys, we'll see y'all later.